Hey, what is up, people of the YouTuberverse? As promised, I got my stuff done for the day and stuff. Um, kind of relaxing right now with nice little stuff and watching a little bit of TV here. I mean, I know that they've been out for a while, but I kind of just discovered these dudes recently, and I'm just kind of catching. This is nice to break stuff up, long videos, and break them up bits by bit at a time. And usually it takes me like 2 or 3 days to watch something like this because I'll pause it, go do something else, and whatnot. But I'm in chill mode right here, and I think it's a good time for me to make up with that promise that I promised earlier today and talk to y'all about my past and whatnot. Um, it used to be harder actually to talk about this because it does hold a lot of like heavy themes in this. So if things like drugs or you know doing the one thing that cuts your life short kind of thing, I don't want to say it right now within the first like minute of the channel because it's a powerful word and it's something I survived and it's not something everyone else survived. I'll start using the proper term here in a little bit, but just know if those kind of things really are just not for you right now, I have recovered many years after this, so I'm comfortable talking about this kind of thing. For me, using myself as an example for y'all. And as I always say, I am not an amazing person. I am no saint nor savior because I am a screw up. And that's just facts. And it comes from history that I say these facts. So take a journey with me. I'll pull you through my 20s, starting at when I was just out of high school, actually. In high school, my passion is animals and nature. Since a child, I've always done that. I have hobbies and stuff that I thought could have been passions and stuff. When I was a child, I would tell my mom, I want to be a graphic designer for video games. I love video games. I don't play them as much anymore like I do. And I will get into a topic about the PlayStation sort of like state of play thing that they did yesterday. That was so cool. There's a couple of games, especially the one at the end. Especially the one at the end. I mean, I got me a Deadpool blanket on right now, dudes. If you've seen some of my old videos, you know I love comics. That Marvel game. But we'll get back to that. I know, I'm sorry. I'm stalling. I'm they're not good topics. So, 20s. Music teaching did not happen. In the early 2000s at that time, 2007 is when I graduated from high school. And I barely graduated actually because I'm terrible at math. Chemistry almost kept me from graduating on time. I passed, thankfully, barely. I'm just not good with the math stuff. I'm great with biology and I love that, but maths and stuff no. So I went into a community college nearby, CPCC, Central Piedmont Community College, because I'm in Charlotte area and that wasn't far from where I was living in the Harrisburg area at the time. And I would go there. I paid for everything. I have no debt or anything, but I also never graduated, so I mean, I never got any degrees or anything from that because what happened was I didn't do things right on my end, and I didn't do my just, I would say, diligence and research on how to be a part of the music education program. Because sometimes if you go to the wrong counselor, they'll put you on the path of an arts major. I thought it was weird. I had to take stuff like art history and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, well, I guess because, music is an art as well. So that probably what it is. I was given a list of things to try and take. And I found out I was on the wrong major for the first like year and a half, paying everything out by myself. My family, when I graduated, different family members gave me some certain bits of money. I've been working since 16, so I had some saved up. And I really thought I'd be a music teacher. I used to tutor kids and stuff, and that was amazing. Since that didn't work, the next thing I went to is the obvious. Depression hit. I started lying about when I was going to school or not to my family because I didn't want them being embarrassed that I just pretty much flunked out of college. I was living in a place and I knew people that made getting terrible things easy to get. The list of things I hadn't taken is way shorter, and I can even just give it to you right here, to be honest with you. I ain't done a heroin, and I ain't done meth. And I think in the back of my mind I knew they were killers. But at the same point, I wanted to die. In my mind, I was a complete failure at everything I wanted to do. The only thing that really held me there is my parents are amazing. I am so lucky to have parents and a younger sister that not everyone's lucky to get. And they looked out for me. They talked to me. And at times, even when I didn't deserve to get money and I asked for money, they helped me. And that's amazing. But I tried razors. They hurt. The sting of a blade is terrifying. And there are those who go through with it. Like, I feel for y'all. And I'm maybe tearing up a bit and stuff. This stuff's not absolutely easy to talk about, but it's been long enough that I know I'm not going to bust out crying on y'all while talking about it, but it's just the emotions of the time, feeling like you in the pits and the gutter, that you got nothing. I had them when I had my husky Nanook at the time. I had an animal. And he kept me anchored. By the time of 2018, when my grandfather passed away, I lost Nanook. And I really didn't have anything else. What I did, though, is I had somehow quit drugs and stuff. I even stopped smoking cigarettes. I used to smoke cigarettes. I don't smoke no more. Not cigarettes, at least. I every once in a while, I will take of the herb. And the legal herb. The stuff that's legal. Again, no streets, but it's rare nowadays when I do it. But I'm going to be honest. That's just, Nowadays, I like my THC gummies. I'll do some seltzers, some THC seltzers. And I drink wines and stuff. I don't do beers or anything anymore because the bacteria and stuff and the fermentation process, I have a high bacteria count in my gut, and to put that into my gut causes terrible stomach pains and stuff. So I cut that off too, which is great because beer can be cheap, you can buy it easy, and it's easy to drink it away. And a lot of what I was doing was drinking heavily and all sorts of hallucinogenics, anything, shrooms. I knew shrooms were poisonous, and I liked the feel of it at that time. And so I was thinking, well, maybe I'll just poison myself on shrooms. Pills, yep, did those. Different kinds. Chemical drugs, DMTs, 2CE, 2CI. I knew there's a dude who I knew who was a chemist, and he had stuff that he knew how to make. And I pretty much knew myself a Walter White for a little bit, in a sense, essentially. And he would share stuff with us, little bits here and there, but strong chemical in the brain, mess with the brain. All-nighters, tripping on acid and stuff. It was bad. And I didn't care. I was running myself ragged. I was still working, but I was unreliable. I would call out sometimes, I was hanging on by threads. And I was like that. And like I said, until 2018. From 2009 to 2018. Essentially. Because it took a couple years after my big old failure with college and stuff to actually get there. But, yeah, almost 10 years of my life in those 20s was nothing but blur, And then as I was coming off of it, when I moved into this house here, it was later in 2018, almost 2019. It was in December of 2018 where I met Lady, the leopard gecko. In fact, she was a rehome. It was from the older sister of one of my roommates at the time. And that roommate was telling me that her sister and her boyfriend, which is now an ex, got a leopard gecko in a 10-gallon tank. She was smallish. She was half grown, but she had a very tiny tail and everything, and she was I know they meant well, but again, this is why education is important, about learning and understanding. The power of the mind is so strong, it can help influence the power of the muscle and the spirit as well. Things need to be in balance, and I went through almost 10 years of a complete breakdown. Why I'm alive today is a God-blessed miracle, and nothing more. And I just want to share that miracle to others. Let y'all know it's okay. Animals and nature saved my life. I want to pass that on a little bit. Anywho, thank you guys so much. Y'all are absolutely amazing. Have yourself a good one. Peace out.